the deal, my familiar? You know what it is, the Don Tony Teflon, the lady Elamar. And when Elamar's in the building, you know what it is. Elamar, how are you?
Oh my gosh, I missed it. I am better. I'm here. Everything is better when I'm here, Tony. Literally cure for anything and everything. How are you doing today on
I'm
this
doing
very good day?
I'm doing all right today. Today's a good day for me, so I'm doing
Mhm.
all right and everything else. To see the people here in the chat, let's say what up to some of them who are in the building rocking with us right now. We got the one and only our friend Carlaway in the building rocking with us. No Context is up in here rocking with us right now. Jason H is in here. Sonic your boy, you know Sonic your boy is rocking with us as always. It's a small world is up in here right now, rocking with us. Julie B. Deep Dives is in here. Laura Butler is in here. I was about to say Fatima. Fatima is in here. See, Fatima's ruined the world. Fatima. Jules is in the building, rocking with us right now. Jesse is up in here, rocking with us right now. I am glad that everybody had the opportunity to come out here and chill with us on today. My man Jay Sleek is in the building. You know what I mean? Rocking with us. Glad to see all of y'all in here rocking with us. And before you ask about Phil, if he can make it, he will, as always. You know, Phil is on Phil time. And he has
It's
things he has.
always worth waiting for Phil. So
Of course, so Phil could be here. He will be. You don't have to worry about it. Phil will be here if he can be in here and everything else. So if you're looking for Phil, you know he gonna be here. My man Turd Ferguson, I see you. He's up in the building. So today is the Don's birthday, and in honor of my birthday being today, I will take a shot of the pure white Henny. The only thing I had to drink. I didn't really drink anything on my birthday, so it'd be like
well, there we go today. Perfect timing, everyone.
you know.
I got yeah, my mix here with extra ice. So yeah,
There we go. There we go.
perfect day today for that Wednesday stream and Tony's birthday.
All right, it's saloon.
Cheers.
Ah, all right, all right, all right. It is a Don's day today. You know what I mean? And we're going to get into this stream right away, as
Mhm.
always, and stuff. We're not going to waste no time and try to, make y'all talk about my birthday and all that good stuff. We'll talk about
Well,
stuff.
everybody's wishing you birthday, like you said, happy birthday.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. We will have a 100,000 subscriber stream, hopefully this Saturday. The plaque is
Nice.
supposed to be here Saturday from what the mail says. So if I get it this Saturday, I will do the stream this Saturday. I'm trying to contact people from my past, present, and hopefully future to have everyone at least come on and let me tell them how I feel about them, and everything else like that, and do all
Tony, do
that.
you already have a spot for it?
Huh?
Do you already have a spot for it?
It's weird because now I have, I have the green screen behind me. So, if it didn't, when I had my old setup, I would have had the spot with the bar and everything else. I would have had the spot there. But now I have the green screen. It's going to be hard. But I'm thinking I might just, over here, just put like a
Yeah.
table and just have it set right next to me and everything else. You know what I mean?
Sounds good.
That is what it is. No contest as Acosta says happy birthday. She can say happy birthday to me another way. She ain't gotta say it. Say
Well,
it.
that doesn't have to be with words, right?
No, it doesn't have to be. Jesse, 50 years. I'm not 50 years old yet. Jesus Christ. Give me a chance to get there. All right. Anyway, let's just go.
It's the wisdom. It's the wisdom, Tony.
Let's go. Let's go. This stream is about Boyd. We're going to talk all about Boyd's character season 4, where we think he should go, or where we think he's going to go, or maybe where we think he should go. What everything else should be, and everything, why he should take the route well chosen and stuff like that. So right off the bat, let's go right through it real quick. And I am in the same age group as 50 Cent and Eminem and all that. So yes, we're around the same age as these dudes. You know what I mean? So that's my group. So all right, let's go through it real quick. Boyd, we know that how he came to Fromville. I do not blend. Thank you for the super chat right here from Terry Ferguson. Happy birthday, bro. He is to be Henny fun. Well, I appreciate it. Take another shot for you for that. We'll take another shot for that. Yeah. All right. So, how Boyd came to this town and everything else, and why Boyd came to this town is still, up for debate. I believe that Boyd was not meant to come to the town. It was meant for his wife, Abby, because Abby was the
Mm.
one having dreams of this place before she even got in this place. And we've seen that the people who have had dreams about this place outside of this place have some significance, importance, whether they are chosen. Seems like those are the people who do have the dreams. They are very significant to this place. So I don't believe Boyd was meant to come to this place. I think Abby was meant to come to this place, and Boyd Ellis got caught up because they were in the same car as her. What do you think about Boyd's entering into Fromville?
So I do wonder with that what you said that it was about Abby. My thought is that if it was just about Abby, there were plenty of times where she was in a car by herself. So I do still wonder how that stuff works, if it has to be a certain time of day or what the formula for going there is. Aside from, you're not in the middle of the city, you're in a forest and there's a tree. Aside from that, what is the formula for it to work and who chooses it? If there is only a certain point meaning time and space, where you would go through that, or special time of, I don't know, the season, then yeah, I get it. Whoever pulls them in there will take that chance. And I don't care if you're driving a bus full of people or by yourself, you're going to be pulled in there. But if that is not the case, if it can be done anytime, I'm leaning more towards, like, you have some main person and then people who help them on the so-called quest. They're kind of like are pulled along with to maybe aid that person. But I don't know why would somebody pull them in to aid, because that would be going against whoever pulled Abby there. So that is the confusing part for me. I think that they were all, she was the main one, I agree, to be going there. But also the people around her were there with her for a reason, but not as a main character. He became a main character, but it wasn't meant to be, I think, just her, because they could have gotten her there at any point.
Well, if we looked at it at that way, I would say I would push back a little bit on that, saying that Marielle, all right, came in with a bus full of people. I'm sure Marielle was driving by herself many a times, but the opportunity that she did come in with, she came in with a bus full of people. So again, we don't know why they're being pulled in or who's being pulled in and what's the rules to that. So that's where I would push back on that. Like Abby probably was driving along, but this was the time that she happened to be. And Marielle, I'm sure, was in the car with other people at many times. This just happened to be the time they got her when she was in this bus. Even when we look at Tabitha and she was there, she was in the car with Victor's father. They didn't pull her in immediately when she got into that car. She got pulled in when she got into the ambulance, right? So it seems like when the time is right and they're able to get you is when they pull you in. So I believe Boyd, when he was brought in, it wasn't for him, it was for Abby, and he just became collateral damage. Now, the fact that Boyd has now stepped up, and someone asked the question like, if they didn't want Boyd, why didn't they knock him off and kill him? They had plenty of opportunities. It's because Boyd now is a different situation than when Boyd first got there, right? So Boyd has been there. Boyd has been the person who has, when they first got there, they were all living in caves and holes on the ground. Boyd is the one who found the talismans for them and allowed them to go move back into the houses. Boyd is the one who allowed them to form some type of community and allowed them to find a way to survive in this place. By that, Boyd is also the one who went into the woods when none of them they were all scared to go into the woods. Boyd went into the woods. He found the talismans. He found the goat. He's the one who did that, right? So now that Boyd has a much more significant role than they probably wanted him to have.
Yeah.
Now it's a different situation. And when it comes down to, they had specific things to They could have got rid of Boyd many a times. It's true. They could have got rid of Boyd. But again, this seems to be a game that they're playing.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a movie called Tron. And in that movie, Tron, one of the main people, Flynn, gets sucked inside of a computer. And the master control program wants to kill him. But he wants to kill him in a certain way. He wants him to kill him when he's playing a game. He can kill him anytime he wants, the master control program. But he says strictly, I want him into the game. I want him in the game until he dies playing. He only wants to kill him that way. And I think that is exactly what's going on here when you deal with Boyd. They want him in the game, but they want to kill him his way, their way. They don't just want to kill him outright like everybody else. They have plans for him. What do you think about that?
I do agree with that. Or especially now, they do know how to run. They can run, right? We saw him running. And so I still wonder what it is, if it's what kind of, I mean, if you're stuck somewhere and what's her name? The one that came through the window to make out with the porn stash. I forgot her name.
Jasmine.
Jasmine. Yes, Jasmine. Again, we don't know how much we can trust them. I don't think of course we cannot trust them in general, but there was possibly a fact that they did not choose to be the way they are right now. It's not like, I want to be a monster and I want to be stuck in this, So, but the fact is that they are there. They're going through what they're going through, the monsters. So why not have fun? Like at that point, just have fun. If you're there, just have fun. Why be miserable all those years? Just, have a game with them. So I do see that they could have killed him at any point, but where's the fun in killing people? And then you're going to kill the entire village, and then you have nobody to play with. Mm-hmm. You can't kill each other. You have to kill something there for fun. I mean, what are you going to do? Walk like zombies? When you're a monster, just do nothing? Why not have fun over there? So, yeah.
Exactly. And so one of the questions I think going forth in season 4 that we need to answer is we need to know how these people are actually being transported into this place. Mm-hmm. Now, again, I thought it was a wormhole. I thought that was it. But we did hear Jade bring up the wormhole in the show and say that people think it's wormholes, but it could be something else. Now, when they bring things up to the show, I do believe that when they bring those things up, they bring them up to squash a theory of that's not what it is, so you can move on to something else. Now, that doesn't mean that they're not getting transported through by wormholes, teleportation devices, which I do believe that this, and I'm not going away from it, people. This is some scientific shit. There's no magic in these damn faraway trees. There's no magic faraway tree. There's none of that shit. It's some type of technology that's transporting all of these people around. So they need to figure out exactly how, they need to tell us exactly how these people are being transported in this town and the reason why certain people are being selected for this town. Not everybody is important that was being selected in this town. Some people are just for fodder. And I know a lot of people think that everybody has some type. No, not at all. So I don't think they brought in Fatima because they wanted Fatima because she had weed and they said, hey, we need someone to have weed to make these people happy. So let's grab this chick right now. She's got weed and healthy seeds in her pocket at this particular. I don't believe it was anything like that.
And she was by herself, right? In the car. It was just her. So that is interesting. Yeah, to think about, because there was nobody else there with her too. And what would be the reason for her? Like her reason.
Exactly. So
I hope they answer it. I hope it's not just a plot hole there.
Yeah, well, listen, I don't expect them to answer every question that everyone has an answer. Answer everything everyone has a question for. I don't expect them to do that. Right? The main ones you got to give answers to and stuff. And why these people are being selected and how they're actually, the fact that they've showed the map, they showed everyone from all different points, and they all wound up here. Shows that they have to explain how these people are ending up here. There's no, you can't show that map and put that out there and not eventually tell everybody how they're ending up here and stuff. And obviously there's no flashing lights, there's no nothing. It's just this, you see this, and now you're here and you're stuck here. So I guess that's what they have to That's what they have to show and everything else. In my opinion. All right, but dealing with Boyd, we look at Boyd in season 1. We see him that he is basically the outright ruler of this town. He's the sheriff. He has a problem with Donna, but Donna and him have an understanding that he's not to go to Colony House. He's to run downtown. She's going to run Colony House as he feels fit. And we see Boyd as a conflicted individual where this guy stays out all night, winds up, his daughter gets killed because it's not nailed shut. His window's not nailed shut. He's forced to smack this man. He's forced to get this guy the right. And he does not want to put him inside of the box that he created, that if anyone broke the rules, they would go inside the box for the night. And he just does not want to do it. And Father Khatri is the one who says, listen, you put a gallows in the middle of the town square. You have to have the fortitude to use this. What do you think about that?
And that's something. I mean, and I think Boyd might have said it too. It's coming from a priest who would normally, you would think, technically in general, that they would be preaching for, that's love and forgiveness and this and that. But no, but now we know why Father Khatri, based on his past, there are consequences, and not only to what he did himself, but also to what he witnessed, that how the boy was killed not in front of him, but so again, weird thing that the priest would say that. I do agree with him though. I mean, why scare? It's like threatening somebody. You're not supposed to it's not supposed to be a threat. It's supposed to be a promise. Like, this is, if you do this, I promise you this will happen. It's a promise. It's not just threatening. So yeah, I do agree with what Father Khatri said, but also on Boyd's side, I mean, he doesn't want. I mean, he's the one who did, and this is his responsibility. So that's a lot. It's a person's life on the line. So you have to be the executioner at that point. You made that death, not a trap, but the death place, and then you have to literally kill. You don't kill him with your own hands, but in a way you do. He killed him. He had the power to say, let's talk it out, and he will promise not to kill anybody with his negligence again, but he decided to actually stick to what he said.
100%. So you see Boyd, he doesn't want to follow through with it, but in the end, Frank is the one who does it to himself. He says he wants to go in there, he gets in there, he gets murdered by the monsters at night while being inside the box. And immediately after that, Boyd takes the box and moves it away, purposely, most likely because he did not want it in the town square anymore, where he would be forced to actually do that and kill somebody again. And this just shows, and we asked the question then, how far is Boyd willing to go, right? He puts on a really big talk, right? Boyd is very boisterous and he talks a lot of game. But we seen at this moment when it was time for him to put up a shut up, he couldn't do it, right? Which I think brings us to the end when we see him with Elgin at this particular time, where again he was faced with the thing, is put up a shut up. And this time he actually went through with it. So we see the how he didn't want to go through with it, but now and he probably was right not to, but this guy put himself up to it. But now that he did go through with it, the consequences that he's going to have to suffer for doing what he believed is right and having this after he did the deed to Elgin, and how he's going to have to suffer in the end for what he did to Elgin in the end. I think that Boyd's not going to escape that. I don't think he'd be able to work his way out. So it may have been two different situations. It may have been to the point where the first time, he was wrong. He was right for doing what he did, but this time he actually followed through, and now he was wrong for following through. It could have had to be a different way. There could have been a different way to get Elgin to speak, to get Elgin to do, to figure out exactly what was going on with Fatima. Again, we have to think he's thinking that Fatima is going to be killed at this particular time, and he's being a desperate situation and cause for desperate measures. But he really didn't have any proof that they were going to be killed. He just had Sarah telling him that it's going to be too late by the time he reaches her, which means a very interesting question that I don't think no one has ever really discussed that at all and everything. And that's why we're going to discuss it here, because we talk about the things that people don't talk about. That comment from that person was, you're not going to reach her in time no matter what. Does that mean that that person has the ability to see the future and knows that no matter what's going to happen, you're not going to reach her in time, or it's already cemented, you're not reaching him? Or do you think that that person was just, laughing at him saying it? Which one do you think it was?
I think it speaks to maybe not only the future per se, like, what's going to happen tomorrow in general. I think it has to do with that person knowing that the Smile Monster will be reborn no matter what. So what that they get to her? So what that, even if they reach her, although that would have been more, that would have been even more scary to hear. It doesn't matter if you reach her or not, and then follow with whatever words that is going to happen no matter what. It's going to the things will happen to her no matter what. They're meant to happen. So that would be scary, because then you're left at the point, okay, I get to her, she gets hurt. I don't get to her, she gets hurt. So that is even more scary, because there's no hope in that. But that person, I think, knew that the things will happen, that there's no way around it. Like, it was promised. They were promised to live, and not one way or the other it will happen. I don't know. I don't see that person knowing the future. It's maybe that person knowing what the cycle is.
Mm-hmm.
That maybe it happened in the past. Maybe, although the monsters were kind of fascinated. I don't know if they're fascinated because they saw it for the first time, or it was just fascinating to see how it actually happens. That it actually is true that they are going to live forever.
I believe that the person could see the future. That's why they said it. I think that a lot of this stuff is predestined. So it comes down to the fact of how much of this is actual free will, and what is free will. I mean, you can discuss that in our universe, in our world. Is free will is coincidence, or is that destiny? If you make a move to the right, were you always going to make the move to the right? Or if you didn't make that move to the right, were you always not going to make that? Right. And especially if we're dealing with some type of alternate realities or some situation like that, someone could have come from, if you want to put the alternate reality thing in it, it could have played out already in an alternate reality one way. So the person has some type of knowledge of what they believe is going to happen because they see it play out in the alternate reality already. Now, because the reality is alternate means it can play out differently, but it would give you a good idea of how things could play out. So we could be dealing with alternate realities or a parallel universe type situation or anything like that, if you want to look at it like that, right? Especially since this has been going on since 1800s and everything else, and they still been going through this whole thing and stuff. So it all depends on exactly how you want to look at the situation. But I do believe that person knew, and that's why he was so confident when he said it, that you're not going to stop it. He knew that they would get there, and it was already going to be over by the time they got there. So really, no matter what they would have did to Elgin, they would have got there too late. Whether they tortured Elgin or they didn't torture Elgin, they still would have got there too late. This kimono nurse would have already grabbed up the baby and took the baby down, and it would have been a whole different situation. There's no way to prevent that. And
who do you think says that? Who do you think was that message coming from?
So I believe that there are people who talk to Sarah are also being prisoners there. And there are also people there that can talk to her who are evil, all right? So she says, when you hear Sarah, she says the voices that are helping her also captured there too, and they want to go home. That's what she says back in season 1 when she talks about the voices. She goes, "They're captured just like we're being captured, just like we're captured. It's the same thing, and they just want to go home too." And that's why I believe, and that's why I came to the theory that the people that are captured are the aliens are captured there, and they're being experimented on, and that is why, and they want to get out of there too. And that's what everyone's using this technology. That's why I came up with that whole situation and everything. I see Julie B bringing in the boy in white, and all right, before I give my 2 cents about this boy in white, and we get back to boy, what do you think, Elamar? Is this boy in white? Is he a good guy or is he a bad guy? There's no middle ground.
He's got an agenda. I don't think he's good. Just because somebody's telling you, oh, go here and then you're fine, doesn't mean that it just works for him at that point, in that moment. If he wanted them out, he would help them out. They would already be out. Like, how many years do you need to be like, oh, you need to go here, you need to go there? Victor is still stuck over there. Like, I don't think he's I think they're all evil. Everybody's evil over there, and the people are just like pawns, just like like a cat playing with a mouse, and then just like tossing the poor thing here and there. It's everybody's evil, all the entities. And even if they were not evil, being surrounded by, I'm saying evil, like evil, not like magic evil, but evil as in bad. If you're surrounded only by the bad and negative, if that's all you know for however long, I mean, it's gonna rub off on you. It's difficult for the goodness to stay well when you're just stuck there for I don't know how many hundreds of years. So if they were not evil in the first place, they turned not so pure and white like that boy is, like those clean clothes. He's way too clean.
It would be too cliche
to
have this boy dressed in this white Wimbledon tennis outfit, walking around this magical forest, trying to help everybody. He's not trying to help people. He's evil. And I guarantee it. And I know I heard this guy come on one of these shows, and he said that he drew the picture of the boy in white for the opening scene, and that's not a grown man, that's supposed to be a boy, and that when he draws pictures of boys, somehow they come looking out like grown men. That's bullshit. That is some bullshit right there. I wish I could. Let me see if I can pull this picture. That is a damn right.
I don't trust anything they say.
That is an outright lie. I'm telling you right now that is a lie. He's lying through his teeth. There's no way that is a picture of a little boy. It's not possible. If you look at that picture, there's no way you could get that wrong and say, "Oh, I draw them. When I draw them, they just look like." Look this photos here. Let me see.
I wonder if he also drew. Wasn't there a kid, not decapitated, but there was something like a dead child there laying against the wall somewhere. I forgot if the kid had a face. So if that's the same person who drew it, then I guess they know how to draw children, unless it's somebody else drawing it.
Yeah, listen, we got Glue Guns and Roses is back. Great to see you back, Glue Guns. We missed you. I'm glad that you were here. Let me see. This is in the window right here. All right, let's. All right, listen. We see this, Elamar? Is it on the screen?
Yeah.
All right. So this man who drew this, the showrunner, right? Listen, this showrunner
has a mortgage and 5 kids.
He really wants you to believe. This is what he wants you to believe. What? No, go here. Why is it messing up? Do I gotta do that? All right. This guy, the showrunner, wants you to believe that he drew this picture and he said, "This is the boy in white, and he's a boy." This motherfucker's hairline looked like Stephen A. Smith. All right.
Oh my God.
And I'm not talking Stephen A. Smith in the 1920s. This is Stephen A. Smith at 57 hairline. I know a receding hairline when I see one. Right? Don't tell me, oh, I drew the boy in white. He's supposed to be a boy. He's not grown up. That's bullshit. As that little boy was saying, not me, that bullshit. That's bullshit.
But I love that one.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
This
Look at the eyes.
This is a
He's
grown-ass
tired.
man.
He's been through some stuff.
That's what I'm saying. When y'all hear these showrunners and they go on, don't believe the hype with everything these people say to you, man. Don't fall for the bullshit. You know, don't fall for the okie doke, as they say in my era. Don't fall for the okie doke. That's a grown ass man. All right, that's a grown ass man.
Yeah,
right there. Sarah says when she spoke to him,
yeah,
he doesn't sound like a boy. I don't think he said, I don't think he's a boy. She specifically says that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So she's saying straight up, I don't think he's a boy. They're not saying that then all of a sudden, because it's gonna give too much away. He can't say that. Oh, every time I draw kids, they come out and they look like they look like grown men. I don't know how this drawing they look like grown men. Bullshit. Bullshit. Who you talking to, brother?
It's like, not our first rodeo here.
I don't know for that bullshit.
We heard it before.
Like, come on, bro. Yeah. I ain't gonna fall for that. You know what I mean? That's not gonna work. Like so, Julie B is saying, Bender actually said that's how he draws kids. When he drew his daughter's child, it looked more like her mother. That's just how he draws kids. I had the writer say, yeah, he's lying to you, Julie. If Julie B, that's the lies right there. You shouldn't have revised nothing. You should have left your video the way it was, because I'm guarantee you that this is a goddamn grown ass man, and the boy in white is no boy whatsoever. The dude lying, bro. He lying to you. Okay, what Bender says. Bender is trying to bend us over backwards and give it to us with no condom on this one. All right, this is what Bender's doing. No Vaseline. All right, that's what he's trying to hold that on us. Hey, don't fall for that, Bender. The Don don't fall for it. All right, we ain't fall for that garbage. I know a grown man when I see him. I grew up. You don't draw a young kid with a fucking receding hairline.
And look at those eyes. He looks so.
Man.
Yeah.
They said Bender be bending the truth. You goddamn right. Bro.
Truth Bender.
You goddamn right. That is not that though.
It would be a lot of things revealed if he actually. Although I wonder how when they go to those interviews, like how much to reveal, how much is a spoiler for people who actually dig into it. So it's always like, sometimes I don't want to know. I want to be surprised, but like they should know in a way how to answer it without giving too much. I mean, they are the writers, right? I mean, they write stuff. Why not write it?
100%. But we also have to realize this too when dealing with this situation. They switch stuff around, right?
Yeah.
They moved. Tabitha wasn't supposed to come back till season 4. They had to come back. They had to get pushed out in season 2. So all that stuff is a butterfly effect, right? By moving that up, you sped things up. Now, if Tabitha wasn't supposed to be pushed out until season 4, then they weren't supposed to break that bottle code until season 5, which I'm assuming may be the last season. You know what I mean? That's what it is. Glue Guns and Roses is saying, hey, you never know. Some kids have 5 heads instead of 4 heads. Maybe the kids will grow into. Yeah, they're not. That's a receding ass hairline. If I ever seen one, that's different. That's a different situation there, girl. Hey, that's different. That's Stephen A. Smith as a white man. All right, that's what that is. And he has the exact same ears as the man in yellow. Same ears. So you know what I mean. All right, but we'll come back to that and everything else and all that. But yeah, so when you move things around like that, so if that means they weren't supposed to do the bottle code tree, they weren't supposed to break that until the season 5, because Tabitha would have had to come back season 5 and everything else and all that. They wouldn't have been able to do that situation. They wouldn't have been able to do a lot of these things, right? That we see. Asta wouldn't have been there. Victor's dad wouldn't have been there. All that stuff is sped up on the time. Like the Eloise situation was not there. So if Eloise is at these cabins, then this wasn't supposed to happen until season 5. Maybe the cabins were not supposed to happen. And if the cabins were supposed to happen, and it's not Eloise out there, we'll find out. But if she is, then this was supposed to happen later, right?
I do wonder what was supposed to be. Like, what were we supposed to be entertained by? I wonder if they took something out because it was way too long, or they just rearranged it and we're going to see the stuff later. I hope it was a good choice, though. Whatever they did, that rearrangement.
Yeah. I hope so. To Julie B says, all I changed in my theory video was the part about him looking like a man. The rest is the same. The bottom line is this. Sarah says straight up in the show, when she talks to Boyd about the boy in white, is, I don't think he's a boy. She specifically says it. She says it straight up. I don't think he's a boy. She said it. That's it. He's not a boy. They don't have that line in there just to have it in there. They have that line in there letting you know that he's not a fucking boy. He's not a boy. He's appearing as a boy. All right. He's appearing as such, but he's not a boy. He's something else. All right. So they'll have to, come back to that and everything else. But that's the fact. So the guy coming on here saying, oh, that's the way I draw all kids. They look like grown men. Come on. Then why was that written in the show, Mr. Bender? Why was that the case? That was it. Right. So you I said, these guys ain't going to give you, they don't take everything they're saying to be what it is and everything else. You know what I mean? That's what's going on. So he's not a boy. The boy in white is not a boy.
So Tony, a question for you.
Yeah.
Avatar?
He's an avatar of a boy.
Yeah. So I do wonder, was he ever looking like that? And he just is basically not a boy as in a child because he's been there so long that his, I don't know what to call it, soul is old. So technically he's all grown up. It's like an avatar of his old body, or was that body somebody else's body? Or was it just a made-up body to show it to people? What do you think about that?
It may be the only thing that he can. All right. So when dealing with, let me put it like this: if you watch Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness, right? Scarlet Witch in that movie is trying to go to a different multiverse where her kids are still alive, so she can get them, but she can't cross into the multiverse herself, her physical body. But she's able to take possession of bodies in the multiverse and control them that way, right? So it could be a situation here where the person could not come through this physical realm only as this boy in white, only as maybe someone else doing something else there, right? So he has to come in that form, but his real form, he can't come into this. You know what I mean? And that happens a lot, in movies. And we see these in different movies where people or many creatures that are in different dimensions want to come to this dimension, but they have to perform something before they can make their way fully in. So that full. So it could be a situation where you only communicate into this form. As I think we've seen with the Man in Yellow. I think the Man in Yellow wasn't able to come into this dimension until they played that song. And I think that song what allowed him and freed him to come into this dimension. I think before he was only able to communicate through the phone lines and things like that, but he wasn't physically able to come in. And so when they played that song, because you hear Jim say, how do you know this is a good thing? Yeah. Right? What should we do this in town? We've seen the music box. So we heard Jim say that. And then right after Jim says that, that's when Jim gets iced, right? He's the one who gets taken. Yeah. And then he specifically says that Jay sure can play. He brings up the song, right? That's what he brings up. Because what else did that song do? In all honesty.
Well, we kind of don't know yet, right? What do you think? Like, was there something else that was activated?
That unlock their memories? Because they played the song, and only thing that happened when they played the song was those kids showed up. Right? And she said, keep playing, keep playing. Now listen, we've seen those kids show up without the song being played. So it wasn't the song that made them show up. They showed up before without the song.
Yeah.
Right. So the song didn't bring the kids there. So we can all agree on that. It wasn't the song that brought them there. The kids, and then the kid comes up and says, Anna Kui, I remember. Now, at this particular time, she's not afraid of the kids anymore. Every other time she's seen them, she was fearful of them. So this was the one time she wasn't fearful, and she listened to the word when it was said, and it was that word. It wasn't the song that triggered her memory. It was that word, and when she said that word and Jade heard that word, then that is what made them remember. So the song had nothing to do with them remembering anything at all. It had nothing to do with the kids being brought there. So what did the song actually do? And in my opinion, the song released the man in yellow into that realm. He was able to physically come into that realm right now. And that's what they did. That's my opinion. That's a theory. I can't. But that's what I see. You know what I mean? Like I said,
the only thing that I would add,
as Jake said, they heard Anna Kui before, but they didn't remember. But they didn't. She was still fearful of that child. She didn't make the connection and hang out with Jade at that time. It probably took her being around Jade, because we seen her touch Victor and then get the flashback. She wasn't into tune with all of that stuff yet. It was after she got in tune with all that stuff, then when the word came, it made sense to her. Right? So that's what I think. I don't believe, because when that girl says that word to her and she remembers, Jade's not playing anymore. He stops playing by that time. You know, and that's it. And then that is when she remembers. So the song to me had nothing to do with them remembering anything at all. Not one bit, you know what I mean? And all that. Glue Guns and Roses says, I thought the song helped Tabby and Jay remember their past relationship, just like real life. Songs make you feel nostalgia. It may have also released the man. Yeah. Yes, I agree that that all came together then, right? When it was all said. It all came together for them that, oh, this is what happened. We used to play this song to the kids and blah, 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 and all that. 100%, I think it flushed the memory, but I don't think that was the cause. Because again, if this was supposed to happen in season 4, as they planned on it, or season 5, which possibly could have been the last season, then what would have been the end game there? Would they would have had to do this whole Smiley Reborn thing earlier. They couldn't have waited all the way back then. That could have never happened, right? That would have had to happen and stuff. So, they would have just all of a sudden season 5 they would have started figuring out everything, and then it ends the season and they're able to figure it out and go and it gets done. All right. Yeah. It wouldn't have worked that way. If I was in the writing room and they had told me that, I would have told them the same thing. That has to happen a lot sooner than that, because this would be way too rushed, especially if you only have 5 seasons and stuff. Yeah. And Phil, the issues guy, is in the back. Nice. Is in the back and everything.
And just to add, Tony, I do agree with you saying that, with that additional comment, that it might have been something that kind of triggered them. It's not like technically, it's a magical thing that made them remember, but I think it's something that triggered something in them or helped them, like, ascend or like a memory of it, and it just came back with that one word, Ankui.
Yeah, but what does it do in the end? What is it? What is the purpose? All right, because when you look at them, because we're talking about boy, we'll tangent out. Phil, what's going on, brother?
Hey, how's it going? One quick question before you tangent out there. I have a question about something you were just talking about. Do you think they intended to bring Smiley back the whole time, or they brought him back because of his popularity? Like they made a strategic choice to bring Smiley back. Was that always part of the plan, do you think? Or was that a swerve to be like, oh, this guy, like people love this guy. We got rid of him too soon. Bring him back.
I would say that it was him because it was his popularity. And they didn't have another recognizable monster. But I think they had to show that these monsters were immortal. So they had to kill one of them off. You know what I mean? They had to do that. There was no way to do it. If you want to show these monsters are immortal, you have to kill one of them. You have to bring them all back, bring that person back. So I think the fact that it was chosen to be Smiley was because of his popularity. Maybe they didn't intend on doing it in the end, but they said, you know what, we're going to put things up. But it definitely, I think, was the popularity of the character that allowed him to come back.
Yeah, as I was listening home, I heard you talking about that. It just popped in my head a question about that,
because of the drawing on the wall and that red thing that people think is Cthulhu, and it's really just Smile Monster coming back, which I really believe that's most likely what it is. Smile Monster coming back, being resurrected. Then they already had it planned that one of the monsters were going to come back, and I think he was the one who they just chose to be the one to do it.
Yeah, I tend to think
that
the
makes
same.
sense. But I am glad that if that was the case, I don't remember if in the interview it was asked that he knew that he'll be coming back. If he did not know that he'll be coming back, they took a gamble, kind of maybe knowing that he is very popular. We're gonna kill him off, not tell him that he's coming back. Chances are he may not be tied up with other things in the meantime, and then basically have him come back and like, you're not dead, you're coming back.
When Phil and I interviewed him, and he came on, the number one thing he kept saying was, besides how grateful he was for the opportunity, was that all he does is take instruction and do whatever they say.
Yeah.
Right. Like he said, whatever they tell me, I do. I take instruction, I do it. I take instruction and I do it.
Yeah.
They put him on the season 2 poster. So when you're on the poster, you knew he was going to be, he's a breakout star of the show, but they didn't see coming. They didn't know he'd be that breakout star. They didn't know that, him dripping the blood when he smiled, that people were going to be scared of him the most or think he's the most creepy. They realized that in season 1, and then they ran with him in season 2. And I think that's what that's what it goes down, how he got back. Again, I really wish it was Jasmine Monster. I would have liked to see her break out of that egg. 100%. That would have been more entertaining to me, especially from the angle they were doing it.
Right.
I would have rather seen that all day. I think she was better built, better casted, and I think they dropped the goddamn ball by putting Smiley's ass up there. No one see that shit. God damn it. No, nobody. But
that would have been a scene, Tony. Right?
It would have been a great. But what it is that what he's saying, and when he was saying that to me, was that a lot of actors, they don't take instruction. A lot of actors, they got a little pushback, and when you're there and you're happy and you're there to be there, they can see all that shit and they understand that, and they're gonna take care of you. You know what I mean? You don't start no trouble on the set, and he was definitely the breakout monster of it. I think Jasmine was just as breakout, and we did interview her, and I've had conversations with her. I will not divulge any of that, but I will say that he was definitely out of all of them the breakout monster. That's why they gave him the scene, go inside the bus. That's why they put him on the poster. Now, if you would have had Jasmine Monster on that poster, I don't know if you get that same effect. It's his smile, it's his demeanor.
Yeah, it's the visceral reaction that people get from that smile became one of the iconic images of the show. When people talk about the show, they talk about, that smiley monster situation. And to that point, Tony, you've worked extra work as well. And, Elmar, you've done theater stuff or been involved in that world. I don't know why I'm assuming. I'm just like, you probably know the theater world too, but it's like a lot of people just stand around and don't do anything. Like, especially in the extra stuff. It's not even that they follow direction. They just whatever, they just walk through the motion. The people that end up in the shot right next to the star on the bar, the people that work really hard and people that listen to everything and do what people say in that situation. So you're absolutely right about that, Tony. I saw that with my buddy, was in the Larry David movie, and he was like listening to everything, and he's like right next to Larry at the bar taking a cig, and I'm like the idiot in the background walking because I was like hanging out with people and talking. No, you pay attention to the damn director.
A Glue Gun says, I wish the granny monster broke out that egg. She wanted to see some old butt crack.
Oh my gosh.
Listen, old butt crack, young butt crack. Listen, I forgot what movie it was. I seen this show. What movie was it? A TV show or something where this older lady was taking it in the shower with this guy. Was it the Apple TV one?
Oh
I think it was maybe the Apple TV one. And that's the first time I actually in my whole life ever seen a woman of that age like butt, and I didn't want to see it again.
So what is it that I should be avoiding, Tony?
No. I think it was just her butt wasn't flattering anyway, young or old.
Yeah, like I'm wondering what I should be no. As in watching, should I be avoiding watching something on TV? Not to be scarred like that. Oh my gosh.
Yes, no discrimination of races. Listen, everyone deserves love, and a lot of people. And listen, Helen Mirren could get it to this day. What is she? 90, Phil? Helen Mirren?
I was just gonna say something inappropriate. I was like, Betty White might be dead a few years. I'd still do it. I don't care. She'd find that funny. Betty White would find that funny.
100% she would.
That's a compliment.
That's a compliment.
I think yeah.
Any of the Golden Girls, for that matter.
There's no doubt about it. No doubt about it. So that's why I think what happened with the Smile Monster and everything else and all that stuff and all that good stuff. Phil is here. It's my birthday. I'm gonna take a shot for my boy Phil.
Happy birthday, Tony. I think it's why I was driving home, just getting home, and I knew it was your birthday, and I had to pop in at least to say hi and wish you a happy birthday. And yes, John Haymaker, I'd be singing "Thank you for being a friend" the whole time, for not just to Tony, to all the Golden Girls.
It'd be like, "Thank you for being a friend." Woo! What a good friend you are.
Very friendly, right? More friends coming.
I was like,
interesting choice of words, Elamar. Coming.
I choose my words carefully.
I know that was a very carefully selected word. I'm
trying to be subtle.
Exactly. Thank you for the birthday wishes, Dieter. I've seen it. I've highlighted, but I didn't have to say anything to it. But thank you for the birthday wish. It's rough sometimes. You having a birthday. I have no family and stuff around me and stuff. So it's sometimes it's hard being alone and stuff like that. But I have all of you. I have my friends here, and that's what makes it worthwhile and everything. And I got to speak to my mom, and I got to speak to my sister, and my daughter and stuff. So, but it's still hard, when you're alone physically. You know what I mean, and all that. And so the as I said, the plaque from what the shipping thing should be here Saturday. Look at that, Glue Guns and Roses. You are so sweet. Thank you so much. I truly appreciate you and the Granny Monster. The 100,000 subscriber plaque should be here Saturday. If it is here Saturday, then we will stream 100,000 stream. Phil, you're available, correct?
I should be on Saturday, yes.
Yeah, Elamar, you're available?
For you, yes, Tony.
We'll stream it on Saturday. I talked a little bit to my man, Don Willie. I told him we try to talk to James Johnson and a bunch of other people and try to talk to my girl Bar and all of us and try to get people to stop through and say what up and everything else. I would like to see if Carmine would stop through. Ask him, Phil.
I will. I might be on with them tomorrow, so I'll see it. I'll see if he wants to pop in.
This to say what up. I have stuff to say to him personally. I would like to say to him. So tell him that I would like to say something.
I will definitely extend the invitation to him tomorrow.
Yeah, it ain't gonna be bad. Tell him I ain't. I know you might be like, "What the fuck this motherfucker?" So it ain't gonna be bad. So, I wouldn't. I'm not a sandbagger, all right, and everything like that. So I wouldn't do anything else like that. All that good stuff and everything. So, all right. So we are still here. Phil, can we use your phone?
Yeah, the phone. I got the phone lines on.
All right. So we got Phil's phone line on if y'all want to call in and talk about. So we're still delving into Boyd. season 2 of Boyd is when Boyd goes, basically his mission is to go off into the forest. After we find out that he shot his wife, after he goes off into the forest, and we have interesting things happen to Boyd while he's out there in the forest and stuff. And this is when, well, the Into the Woods is season 1. I'm getting confused. Into the Woods. He goes off into the woods in season 1. Correct? Yeah, he goes off into the woods in season 1. And then that's when we see the spiders. He gets bit by the spider. That's when we see the lighthouse. It ends with the lighthouse. And that's when we see his woman wrapped in spider webs. Now, are we going to see anything with these spiders? Is that ever going to come to fruition? What do y'all think?
Go ahead, Phil.
I would like to think that something comes from the spiders, but I am so conditioned from Game of Thrones and never getting spiders that I just, I'm just feel like I'm going to get spider disappointment. We're not going to see spiders as big as dogs. I mean, I'll be lucky that we got that part in what is it? Was it Return of the King or is it Two Towers? It's Return of the King, right?
No, what's it? Return of the King and Two Towers?
I think it was Return of the King, but Lord of the Ring experts can correct me if I'm wrong.
They're making their way up at that time. When he's going,
I feel like it's in the second book, but they pushed it to the third movie. But again, I could be 100% wrong. It could be the second book.
Mm-hmm.
Was it? People tell me in the chat. Someone that actually knows that shit better than me, tell me. But I don't know. Maybe, but I doubt it. I don't think we're really going to get back to spiders, except for maybe a passing answer. I would like to see it.
The representation of Boyd's wife being chained up and all this spider stuff,
like turning into a spider. I mean, there was at the time there was some thought that the spider bite cured Boyd of his sickness for a while.
I thought that.
Me too. I kind of thought that as well.
Would it be like a web of lies? It's a stretch, but I don't see those spiders coming back. I'm not complaining. I have the, what do you call it, arachnophobia or whatever it's called, fear of spiders, severe one. Although I am able to kill them now if I want to. I will not run. But I would not complain much unless they were big. I mean, I would like to see big spiders, like the big spiders, but none of those things that were like crawling all over his body. I don't want to see that anymore. But a web of lies, I'm thinking maybe something like that.
I know a lot of people want to believe that it was the spiders that dragged the tent, and it's not going to be. I told you who it was that dragged the tent. I promise you, that's going to be the people I told you. That's the way it's going. I do like the web of lies because everything that came out of her mouth seemed to be lying. When we have seen her and everything, it just does seem that she was lying to him and everything and trying to get him to go off course and everything else. And that's what it is and stuff, and everything. Y'all watch my video, Who Dragged the Tent. Y'all see that I'm telling you who it was that dragged that tent. And although people gave me pushback at it, you'll see in the end that that's what it's going to be. I guarantee you that's the way the show going to handle it, of the dragon of the tent. It's going to be that. After that, he sees a lighthouse. We go into season 2. We stuck inside. We know who threw down the rope. That's when we get introduced to Martin. And Martin doesn't give any information at all, but Martin does give the worms to his body. And he's inside. And this is with the ballerina with the worms coming out of her mouth. Do you think the ballerina with the worms coming out of her mouth was just to indicate the worms in his body? Or do you think it had something else? Because we had the music box. We had the ballerina. We had Martin say specifically, they are coming back. You have to leave. Not one person. He didn't say he's coming back. Now, if he said he's coming back, you might think it's the man in yellow that's coming back. But he specifically said they, which means multiple people. So there's not just one person, there's multiple of them that are there doing this situation, are coming back. And that the monsters are just the tip of the spear, and the town and how they get you, how they trap you is when you go through the far away tree. Again, this shows you that the boy in white is evil. The far away trees are evil too. They're not good things. Because Martin specifically just tells you straight up, they get you when you go through the far away tree. That's when they catch you. The boy in white is telling them, don't chop down the far away tree. But Martin specifically says to him, this is when they trap you.
You're so vulnerable in that moment when you're going through the tree. You can go anywhere. You're sort of in
At their mercy.
Because it's not random. That shit ain't random. That is not random, that far away tree. And that's not what it is. So again, when dealing with this lady with the worms in her mouth, do you think it was just to do it because of the worms in his body, or did it have a different meaning? The ballerina. I mean, the ballerina thing was cute, but what did it really mean? Is this the ballerina from the music box, right? So you have the one in the music box is like an arm and shit. This chick wasn't missing an arm.
So I think with that one, I mean, ballerinas are usually just when we see them, they're beautiful. They're very the way they move. There's this they're gracefully just moving around, and it's just so. We would love to look at that. We would not fear anything. So when she opened her mouth, and she is in a way just a casing of this beautiful exterior, and inside of her, when she opened her mouth, all kinds of crazy, scary, nasty stuff was hiding inside her. So I think it's kind of like a like an image of outside looks great, but what's hiding inside, that's the scary stuff. You don't want to get anywhere near that.
I think that's beautiful. I like that.
Yeah, that's a lot nicer than what I'm going to say. We're just saying that possibly just, like the reflection of the image we see in the music box that does. I tend to think it's the former thing that you were saying, Tony, that it's just sort of a representation of the worms and like a visual live in-person manifestation of like a projected imagery of it. But I like what LMR said a lot better. That was much prettier.
100%. Again, if you want to call in the hotline from Phil's number. I know that people in the chat know the number. If people don't know the number, they will put it in the chat for you, so you can call and we'll speak to you live. If you want to wish me a happy birthday live on the air, you get the opportunity to do so by calling in on that number and stuff. Again, when you deal with again, once again, this ballerina in the world they were at, and now the ballerina's coming to life and then grabbing Boyd up. It just leads more proof that my theory that this is a dream realm. This is what happened. In the dream, you could dream that ballerina to be a real person. That this is what it's going to be. And my theory of the dream realm is going to come true when this is all said and done. They're all stuck in this shit. This is going to be some Freddy Krueger situation going on here. And that's what it's going to be. And listen, if that man in yellow didn't look like fucking Freddy Krueger, Phil, I mean, did he not have a Freddy vibe to him?
Yeah, and the smile, the kind of the face, the little, even the colors of which he wore. If you think that Freddy wears green and red, and in some contexts can be even more brighter, wearing superhero costumes, however he's presenting himself as the movies go on in more of a grand, spectacular way. But yes, I definitely think there's a showmanship to the way the man in yellow kind of displayed himself, like, haha, and behind this door, here I am. Just kind of this vibe. At least I got that kind of like head of a circus kind of vibe about him. I can't quite describe it. Maybe
and the way he walks.
Exactly the way he walks.
Exactly
like Freddy did. The way he did.
Freddy. And you can hear Freddy say, "Boy, that Jay sure can play." That's a
exactly. And the humor.
Vibe.
Yeah.
That's a Freddy vibe. Right.
We have our first call. This is area code 812. What's your name, where you come from, and what's your question or comment?
Hi, my name is Megan.
Hey, Megan.
And I'm just calling to say, happy birthday, Tony!
Thank you, Glue Guns and Roses. I truly appreciate it. Thank you for the super chats. Very generous of you.
But I want to say that I do agree with Elmar about the worms and the symbolism, and also thought she had a great idea about the web of lies. I don't know how deep it is or if it's too far-fetched, but it's the only thing that really makes sense to me, unless they just had drawn the pictures of the spiders first and they're like, we got to throw that in somehow. But yeah, I'm agreeing. I'm just chilling and enjoying the stream.
Oh, I agree with Elmar on that too, and everything. And don't be disappearing like you do, girl. I mean, I know you got family. I know. I know you got your
Well,
busy.
my daughter was in for college, from like Thanksgiving, and then she came right back for Christmas, and I got to soak up all that time, so it is what it is.
I know my daughter just hit me up for $150 for college books. 150. She's
That's like one book.
One book, I was just thinking that. That's how much they cost.
Jesus
Some of them are
Christ.
$200 one.
Tony, I'd split it with someone,
Yeah.
and one of us would go to the copy machine and copy it because it would be cheaper to do that. Like
Yeah.
by the end, you make a friend in college and you guys split
Books
books.
were like $400 minimum for 4 classes.
Effing
They were
disgusting.
lucky.
Yep.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
And there were ebooks
Oh my
too.
God, it's so expensive. It's funny because my husband gave our daughter his card number for emergencies, but all the emergencies are like Chick-fil-A and Starbucks. But yeah. Anyways, I'm gonna let y'all go. I just want to say happy birthday. Hey Phil. Hey Elmar. Happy birthday, Tony. And I thought Julie was gonna call in. I thought I saw somebody say that in the chat, but I was kind of waiting on her to hear what she had to say because I know she has a different theory about the boy in white. But all right, I'm gonna let someone else call in now.
All right, thank you.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.
Bye.
Listen, and Julie can call in and say her theory or whatever she feels, and she has the right to have it, and we love to hear it and stuff. But
I think she said she's gonna call when she gets home. I might have misread a comment, but yeah.
I'm telling you, trust me. I'm telling you, Phil, been in this game a long time. I've come up with a lot of theories. Elmar Phil's known, and a lot of them always all right. I'm just saying, this is just facts, and this is what it's been. I have a very long track history of this, right? And I'm trying to tell you, this was gonna be the boy was evil motherfucker. He ain't no damn boy. We seen his Stephen A. Smith hairline. That's a grown ass man. I know a grown ass man, Ross.
I mean, in the forest, if you would see this, I don't know, a grown man like, oh, follow me into this tree, like, okay, no, thank you. We don't want any of that kind of thing. But if it's a boy, innocent looking, just this nice clean clothes, yeah, follow me, go over there, do that, I won't hurt you. That just makes sense. Like, who's gonna follow a creepy looking person? Nobody.
100%
In the right mind.
100%. I agree with that. The way it's going again. So we dealt with Boyd. We got to look at Boyd, and this is what the video is about in season 4. All right, let's start right off the bat. Right after this show usually picks up right where we left off. There's got to be consequences for Elgin, correct? Yeah, you think that is going to be my lady hold his feet to the fire for what he did? What do you think, LMR? You think that Akasa is going to say you're a piece of shit?
For Elgin, or for both?
For what happened in Elgin, I think.
Oh, what happened to Elgin?
Because you got to figure like this. This is what way it has to happen, the way I see it, and then I'll let y'all speak.
Mm-hmm.
They're all down there in the cave right now and all that stuff. Elgin's still in that house.
Mm-hmm.
They told everybody to get out of the house. Eventually, those people are coming back home. So they're going to be there before they return. So this whole situation that they see, all they're going to see is this guy with his eyeball popped out, sitting there on the chair. Chrissy's going to have to attend to him, and it's not going to be hard for them to realize that Boyd is the one who had something orchestrated to it. Now, they're all responsible. Donna, everyone who stood by Kenny, they're all responsible. But it's a good chance Boyd takes it on his shield and takes the blame for all of it. What do you think is going to happen? LMR, we'll start with you. Then we'll go
he's gonna have to face the town. Not just the town, but everybody. He's gonna have to face the people, and these seem to be like the newcomers mainly, from what I see. Maybe I'm mistaken, but they're not gonna be saying, "Oh yeah, we know what you've been through. We know this place." A lot of them maybe just like got there not that long ago, and they're gonna see him as threat to themselves. Potentially, what if he tells me I did something and I didn't? Is this the justice? Who makes this? There should be the new mayor, where we feel safe. And I can see them like, we have to fear the monsters at night, nightmares during the day, and then Boyd, because he thinks his family is in danger. So he's gonna hear from them, and there's gonna be consequences. I do believe that. And he's gonna take the blame. I think he will step up and take the blame for it. I think he will not. he'll tell that it's we were there, but this is me. I coerced them to do it. I think he's gonna take the blame.
And I think they've already sort of started to set up what's going to happen with Tony's girl, with Acosta having a sort of, pardon the expression, like a hard-on for Sarah already. Like being like, Sarah killed people? Sarah this? Like, that's going to be the in on how she soils everyone against Boyd or tries. Like, he keeps trusting Sarah, and Sarah's murdered now how many people? Or Elgin's almost murdered and she killed somebody else. And I think it's going to be through that Boyd kind of gets pushed away, because she's going to get Kenny on her side. And Kenny's going to be like, yeah, Boyd is a little unstable, and maybe, be safer with us in charge for a while, because Boyd's going to still be going, Smiley's back. She's going to come back hot. He's going to come back hot. And Acosta's, to Tony's point, Acosta's going to be there and be able to sort of already poison the well, so to speak. So before he even gets there, people will be like, oh my God, he let Sarah back into town. She should be in the box. Everyone already hates Sarah. So Boyd's still friends with her. Boyd let her help, blah, blah, blah. I think that's Acosta's ticket.
Yeah, listen, before we go in there, I always say, because I see people asking Glue Guns and Roses why she have that star or star. What does it come up? The star in the chat?
A check mark in her name's highlighted.
Do I get the check mark now?
Maybe. Type in the chat. You might.
I'm doing it from StreamYard though. Would it be the same?
Okay, I don't know. You'd probably have to open it up like you were giving away, like setting up a poll or giving away things. Maybe.
Yeah, I wonder if I get that.
Yes, you're lit up now. You're lit up in yellow.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, you're lit up in yellow.
Yeah. I know she likes to fly under the radar here and stuff, but if you haven't checked out Glue Guns and Roses channel, please check it out. She is. We are very blessed to have a celebrity of her ilk in our chat, and I know she has to fly under the radar. I don't even want to say that because I try to let her, but since y'all brought it up, I'll say that real quick. And so, but go check out her channel and everything that she does and all that. And I'm so happy I got the check.
You don't have the check. Your name's highlighted, not the check yet.
What do you mean not the check yet?
No check yet. I don't see a check yet.
I keep talking. Let me pull up this YouTube and if I can see what's going on.
I don't know. You don't have a check yet. I didn't notice before that your name is highlighted though.
Maybe they got rid of the check. Maybe they got rid of that. Phil, you gotta talk while I'm doing.
Okay, we'll see. Maybe Tony will get that check mark soon. Ethan was on the right path. Boyd and Sarah with says. I was saying a couple weeks ago, I think somehow all of this, like Elgin being injured, getting back, this is going to make Elgin and Sarah friendlier. I think they are going to become close because of this. I don't think Elgin is going to hold any resentment towards any of the people that did this to him, even though one of his eyes has popped out. He's going to understand, and once he figures out what exactly happened, I think he's going to be more fucked up in the head about that he allowed something like this to happen. And I think him and Sarah are going to be able to relate to each other on some level.
No, I don't have the check, but I do have the highlight. But it may be highlighted because I'm on the channel. Or anything else.
Maybe take some time for it to register properly and switch over.
Jackie says they wait a couple of weeks before giving you the check. I'm just going to go by what Jackie said.
Yeah. And Phil, so who else do you think, as Tony is looking for that, who else do you think aside from Sarah and Elgin is one of those extra sensitive and maybe easily, I don't know, manipulated? Yeah. Easily
manipulated people that we've seen. I mean, even though it hasn't happened yet, I do think under the right circumstances, breaking Kenny is a real thing. And we haven't seen it this season yet, but I do think under the right manipulation, Kenny might be someone that could be influenced in a certain direction, one way or another. But I don't know.
Yeah, I get the plaque. The plaque should be here Saturday. And if it comes Saturday, then I will do the 100,000 live stream thing right there.
She says you have to apply to be verified.
All right. I will apply. Then I guess I have to go there and apply. But getting the plaque, there must be another application I have to figure out. But I'm going to apply to get verified too. God damn it. And I'm going to have that too. But yeah,
All
I
the
get
stars and checks and flags,
Ethan
right?
as well, LMR. I think Ethan is someone
Ethan?
else because he's a child.
Okay.
Even though he's a smart child, he
Yeah.
can be manipulated through sending him false images or the boy in
Okay.
white using him for manipulative experiences. We have a spam. Oh, the spam caller hung up. I know who that spam caller is.
Yeah.
They'll call right back.
It will be unboxed live during the 100,000 live stream. We will do the 100,000, and I hope all of y'all come, not just for From. I know it won't be a From stream, but I will be talking about my journey on YouTube with all my friends and stuff, and how long it was for me to get it. So hopefully y'all come and watch that Saturday night.
I have such an awful mind. Hopefully you come because it's so long. Everybody, let's do it.
Oh, it usually works that way.
Yeah, it does usually work. I'm sorry. I'm a horrible mind right now. Welcome to the show, Julie. How's it going?
You know who it is already, right?
Yeah, I saw spam caller. Yeah, so definitely that.
Hey Tony, hey Phil, hey LMR.
Hey.
Happy birthday, Tony.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
I was glad to see you still went live. And yeah, I was on my way home and I heard someone asking if I was going to call. I'm trying not to talk on the phone and drive anymore, so I resisted the temptation to do it. But anyway, I don't think The Boy in White is purely good. You understand what I was trying to explain, and it's hard to explain in short little blurbs, but I don't think there is a purely good entity. I just think he's trying to make the cycle stop. And so I think he's bringing people there who are going to be helpful to make the cycle stop. And I think the man in yellow is bringing people there to manipulate and cause harm.
Right. All right. So let me give you some. Why would he want to make the cycle stop?
I think he's probably the spirit of someone who died there too and wants to get out, wants to be released along with all those kids, the Ankui kids. That's what I think. It's kind of like there's the German show Dark. There were two sides in that, and there really wasn't a good or an evil side. One side wanted to make this endless loop stop. The other side wanted it to continue. So I think that could be what's going on here. I mean, since I think The Boy in White is bringing people there to help, he can't be purely good because he's literally hurting these people if he's bringing them there to help the ones who are already trapped and try to make it stop.
So you believe that The Boy in White is I'm sorry, but you believe The Boy in White is actually bringing people to the town?
Yes, I do. Yeah.
And
I think he and the man in yellow both are like bringing them there like chess pieces to use them either to help or to hurt.
Okay. And what has he done in this show to make you believe that he's good? Because I haven't seen it yet, so maybe you can explain it to me.
He saved a tree.
So until season 3, I was in the camp of Boy in White is not good. Season 3 changed my mind. So I'll tell you what changed my mind. He told Tabitha, I'm sorry, I really am. This is the only way. And he pushed her out of the lighthouse. And then the question is, it's the only way for what? What happened when he pushed her out? She found herself right near Victor's father's house, which we later find out that was the house of her past life, which was married to that guy. She got to actually reconnect with part of her past life, get insight from that, and get Henry there. And that was a good thing. Like, that was actually helpful. I think that's what started the process of her memories coming back, which can only be a good thing. And then later, when he saw Victor in the woods, he said, I think it's best that you learn for yourselves. It's the only way you'll understand. He used that phrase, it's the only way, again. I think he wants them to remember their roots, Jade and Tabitha, but in the previous cycle, when he just tried spilling it all to Christopher, like we saw in a flashback, it didn't go well. So he's changing his tactics to try to help and lead them gradually toward the truth. Like he got her to the lighthouse, he pushed her out. He lured her to the top by making that Ankui noise, and then he pushed her out. Ultimately, yeah, it looks like he did something bad in that case, but what was the result? She got major insight into Miranda, her past life. She got Henry there, and that helped jog her memory, all of that connection. So that's why I think that he's trying to help and that he's trying to make everything stop, make the cycle end. But it's still messed up. He's not purely good, because I think he's bringing people there to try and help end the cycle or help the people who are already trapped. But in doing so, that makes him ambiguously good at best. He's not an angel. He's definitely not a saint. That's my theory on that.
One thing I wonder about, just quickly on bringing Henry there and getting out there. I mean, that could be looked at as a good thing. It also could be looked at as a way of distracting Victor, or it could be, if we go by Tony's theory of the Victor being the boy in white, it could be a selfish thing of he needs Henry to be there for his plan somehow to come together. So to have the vicious cycle come together. I tend to agree with a lot of what you were saying, Julie. I'm just saying there are some alternatives to the Tabitha situation of needing Henry there that could work to a nefarious purpose as well. So sorry for interrupting you, Tony.
Yeah, no, I agree 100%. I think that everything that we have seen him do can be taken at a bad thing. When you first see Ethan look at the boy in white and he's standing there smiling, that's not a happy person there. When you see the boy in white walking through the bodies, like, why would you, if you were a good person, have a child walk through a bunch of dead bodies? Why would you say, hey, come follow me through the streets of these dead bodies, and then sit on the merry-go-round and just disappear and leave them there with all the dead bodies around them?
Right.
Again, when you hear Henry, when you heard Henry say, when you go inside the tree, that's when they catch you. What good has come to the tree that he has told them to go through? He told Boyd to go through the tree. Boyd got stuck in the well. He could have been killed in that well. He told Sarah to go through the tree. She got put back in town where they wanted to kill her. I mean, so when you look at his situations and everything else, I could see it easily be taking the opposite direction. And they are playing a very thin line here of that it could be taken as good, but it's also a lot of things can be taken as bad. And again, Sarah says specifically that she does not believe he's a boy. So if he's not a boy and he's showing himself in a different form, then that means you're only doing that to manipulate people. And usually manipulation is not a good thing. That's what I say.
I mean, I understand like that argument. And I mean, from at this point in the show, yeah, it could go either way. It's ambiguous. But I would say to that first shot of him looking creepy outside Ethan's window with a creepy stinger in the musical score, I personally think that was a misdirect, because that had me thinking he was evil from the beginning. If anything, I think it's the creepy kid trope is too obvious at this point. I think they're doing a switch on us. They want us to think, oh yeah, he must be evil because he's a little kid in white and he's faking. But it's a creepy kid trope. We've seen that so many times. So I don't know. I think they were screwing with us until season 3. That's what I was thinking, that he was evil. And also the fact that he's not a boy. Yeah, I think when she said that, he's not a little boy. I think he's like the spirit of someone who died there. So he's literally not a little boy. Now, whether or not he's actually looking like a man, I mean, it's possible. Like maybe he's a man in that painting. Maybe he's tender-wide, like you said.
Come on, Julie. You seen the picture. Why'd you let that guy get to you? You know better, Julie. You know that's a damn grown-ass man.
I mean, okay. Well, he looks like a man. I've always thought he looked like a man. But then I heard Jack understand all that, and I thought, okay, well,
go with your gut, girl.
Maybe he really is a boy.
Yeah, go with your gut. Don't let these guys talk you off that ledge. Don't let them dissuade you. That's a goddamn man. Privacy. He probably would have said, if you said, well, the mouth kind of looks like a crow. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Every time I draw a mouth, somehow they look like birds. They come out that way sometimes. I don't know how. The trees I draw look like arrows pointed up in the sky. That's just the way I draw.
I know, right? It looks like a man. I've always thought it looked like a man. So when he said that, I was like, what? He said, when I draw my daughters, they always look like their mother when they were children. And okay, so So I mean, the only thing that changed about my theory was that part, but that doesn't mean he's evil either. Maybe he might look like a man, but he's making himself look like a boy to gain the trust of people so that he can help them. Like, I mean, if you think about it, he did save Julie, Victor, and essentially Tabitha, because he sent Julie and Victor through a tree during the Colony House massacre. They both survived as a result. And he told Victor where to hide down in the tunnel because he said Tabitha was going to be coming, which means, by the way, that he can see the future. I think it's because he's been there. Now that we have time travel there, I think he's time traveled. He knew Tabitha was going to be coming down there. He told Victor, hide here where you can be safe from the monsters and wait for her, essentially saving Tabitha, Victor, and Julie as a result. I mean, he's done some good. I just don't think he can lead people out, because the only way to get out is that lighthouse bottle tree, and I think only chosen ones can get through it without dying like Dale did. So I think that he wants to end the cycle, but there's only so much he can do. He's limited in what he can do.
Go through. I mean, Julie, I'd say she was inside that box where basically Fatima got tortured and everything else. Did she survive? And he did, and she made it out right? Yes, 100%. You can't deny that. Victor was put where the monsters are at. I mean, that ain't good. I mean, if you're gonna go somewhere, that's not where you want to go. He could, at the time when he did it, the monsters were attacking, right? So therefore, we have to believe that the monsters weren't going to be there. So why didn't he say, get the fuck out of here right now? But we also know that Victor's been down in them caves.
Yeah, you keep coming back, you're gonna have to stay.
Multiple times he's been down there. That monster said, yes, you keep coming back down there. You got to keep you, Victor. You don't have to keep it. So I do think Victor is the boy in white. And I'm not going to go, so I'm not going to get off that. And so I think that can also be looked at differently too, you know. So we shall see. Lynn, thank you so much for the super chat. It says greetings from B-More. B-More, let's go Ravens. I'm a Jets fan, but I would like to see Lamar Jackson get that ring. Happy birthday, Tony. Cheers, HNY, everybody. Do you think Fatima or Elgin will still die in first episode? I don't know if she will still die, but we'll definitely take this question as soon as Julie is done with the thing. That'll be the question that we answer. All right, Julie, what else do you have to say to us, girl?
Well, I mean, I don't know. I just the other thing too, just one other thing that you had mentioned. Yeah, he did send Boyd and Sarah through the tree. You could look at it as, okay, maybe he was hurting Boyd by doing that, or maybe it was that little 1864 piece of paper in his pocket that sent him to that dungeon area. Maybe the boy in white didn't actually send him there. So that's the last thing I would say on that. It might not be his fault that happened to Boyd. And Sarah, sent back to town, but it was in a safe hiding spot in the basement.
Well, don't let me talk. As I told you, don't let those producers talk you off your thing. Don't let me do that. Stick to your convictions. Go with your gut. All right. Never let no one talk you off your wall. Don't fall for those things and stuff. And keep doing what you're doing. You're doing a great job at it. And you might be right, and I might be wrong. Well, time will tell.
We'll see. Thank you for that. And I will stick to my guns, and we'll see what happens. But yeah, anyway, congratulations on the 100K. I'm looking forward to that stream, and happy birthday again, Tony. It's always great to talk to you guys. I'll be going live after you as usual.
All right. Yep. There's Joe. If you want some more of this make sure you go to Julie B Deep Dive. She'll be live right after us.
Thank you so much, Tony, for all your support. Thank you. I appreciate it.
No problem. And that was Julie V Deep Dive. So let's ask this question for the super chat. We'll start with Lamar. Do you think that Elgin or Fatima will die episode 1 of next season?
I don't know how they would have her. For Fatima, this was a perfect time for her to die a great death. And I think you mentioned, Tony, like different death. You would have had her die differently, like in more gore, just like, you know, I think you said that, right? Like just just make it as gruesome for me. That would be so nice. Just like the thing just ripping out of her, just like guts everywhere. That would have been the time. If they kill her now, how can they top what they had opportunity to do? Like, there's no way to top it. Unless there's a way to top it, great. But if they kill her off and, you know, she trips, falls, and, you know, on something stabs herself to death, like, they miss their chance if they're going to kill her really well. She deserves a good death, and this could have been a great death.
What about you, Phil?
Yeah, we do have a caller, but before we get to the caller, to answer the question quickly, I think if either of these characters were going to die in the first episode, they would have died in the finale of season 3. It's kind of like what Tony was saying about with Julie and in the 3, Julie and Marielle and Randall. Like they were relatively safe through most of this season. I think, at least I felt like they had a little bit of character stuff because they didn't die in the finale of the previous year. So I do think, I don't think Elgin and Fatima are in danger towards the beginning of the season. I'm not.
Yeah, 100%. It would be a waste if they killed them off this way. They just come back and they're dead. Doesn't make sense to me to do that. You wanted to kill Elgin, you had the opportunity to kill him. If you want to say that Elgin speaks, you know, if Elgin does something like Joffrey and then points at Boyd with his eye hanging out and then dies. Right?
Purple wedding thing, yeah, go.
Yeah, if he does that and like, who did this to you, Elgin? Who? And then all of a sudden he just lifts his finger, points at Boyd, then dies. That would be the only way. I could see him going on. But besides that, I cannot see any of them, especially Fatima. I think she's been through that. They had the opportunity to kill her. That means she won't even die next season at all. Like, she's safe. When they give you something like that, I think that saves you from the next.
Yeah, that gives you a character shield. Like the video game, you got an extra life. You got an extra Mario.
And I think they kind of killed her soul. I'm thinking they don't have to kill her body. They killed her soul. I don't think she's ever going to be as peppy and carefree as she was before. So she's kind of dead now.
That's an excellent point. Area code 330. Sorry to make you wait. What's going on? What's your name? What's your question? Where you're from?
Oh no, you good. Real Rebel Eric from Akron, Ohio.
Hey, buddy, what's going on?
What's going on?
What's going on, Tony? Happy birthday, man.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. So I just wanted to say, Boyd, I think Boyd probably go into the woods, probably become a hermit or something. Maybe he become clear or something, like Walking Dead or something. I don't think he gonna want to tell people what he saw, because that probably will hurt the morale, which is already pretty much down. But I don't think he's gonna tell them what he saw off rip. So I think he probably go into the woods for a little bit, come some type of anti-hero or something, just in the background in the shadows. Probably try to figure out a way to kill the monsters again. I also think Jade and Tabitha, with their memories and stuff coming back, I think they're going to know more and probably say more about what's going on in the town. And I really don't think nothing is really good in the town. I think the whole town is wacky. I don't think, I think the boy in white is probably bad, could be good, could be both. The boy in white could be the man in yellow and the boy in white. They could both be the same thing. So I don't know what's going on. It's a lot to try to figure out, but I would kind of agree with the beautiful Julie B. With him. I don't really think the boy, if I have to pick, I would say that I don't think he's really a bad.
Don't go with Julie. Don't think you want to go with Julie on this one. Julie makes beautiful points about it, and I can understand why y'all would think that he's actually a good guy. So definitely go with it. If that's what you feel.
Yeah, I'm kind of leaning, but I don't. To be completely honest, I don't think nothing in the town is good. I think the whole town is wacky, and I think Jade and Tabitha would speak on that and be like, "Man, you can't trust nothing in the town. The whole town is wacky." And I think that Jade and Tabitha is going to be big for next season because they probably going to know more. You get what I'm saying? But I also think that it's like with like if you ever watched Lost or whatever, I know you kind of watched it, but they had this kind of same type of thing, like good and versus evil, and they had the men in white and stuff like that. And you could say he was bad too because he was bringing the people to the island, you know. And they was going through what they was going through. So was he really good? Was he really bad? You know what I mean? But he was supposed to be good, right? So.
I mean, if you crashed a plane into an island,
black, you know what I mean?
I mean, if you crashed a plane into an island and killed all those people, there's no way that you could say that you're good.
Right, but then he goes around and touch all of the people, right? All of the people that was on the island, he pretty much touched them all before they even got to the island as a kid. Some of them was kids or something.
Yeah, you're talking about like when Jacob went around, like spoiler alerts for Lost, sorry, but like when Jacob touched everybody, but he did kill a lot of people too. And how much worse is he than Smokey? Smokey, what did Smokey really do? He went down in that pit and his mother and his brother like fucked with him the whole time. Like I'm not a big believer of the man in black.
So it's the same thing with the boy in white. Like he could be bad, he could be good. He might be doing some sacrificing just to try to, you know, to help the people in the island. Like I think the voices on the island and stuff, I mean on the and the town might even be dead people from another cycle. You know what I'm saying? These people on this cycle, it's probably gonna happen to them too if somebody don't stop it. You know what I'm saying? So it could be a lot of different things going on. I think that the boy in white got something that I think the boy in white and the yellow suit guy could be the same thing though.
Okay.
You know, he could be like everybody that come out the woods walking in the daytime is usually the boy in white, and now it's the man in yellow. So if I want to go on Tony's side, I'm gonna throw that one out there. Why all of a sudden he's a man in yellow walking in the daytime, out of the woods, out of the blue, just like the boy in white was. So, you know, it could be a lot of different things, man. And I'll say one more thing. I don't know if I want to see any of the monsters bunky. I don't care if it's a black, I don't care if it's a woman, I don't care if it's a man. I don't want to see none of they bunkies. They monsters, you know? So,
I feel you, but you know,
I'm gonna say that, but I will say the Species lady from the Species movie. I might have pulled the trigger on that, but I can't pull the trigger on no monster bunkie, man. I can't do it. Hey, happy birthday, man! I'm gonna sit back and listen, man. But hey, that's my theory. I'm gonna roll with it.
All right, brother. Appreciate the call. So. He makes a lot of good points. Let me give a shout out to my man Wolf Spear, gifted 10 Teflon TV memberships. Thank you, very generous. If you are a member because of Wolf Spear, shot Wolf Spear. You know what I mean? You know, as Glue Guns and Rose says, I want to see all of the booty. I do not blame you. Species, she was right. I can't disagree. You know what I mean? I can't disagree on that. You know, listen. Nah, I can't. Even with the varicose veins, I want to see it. I just want to see it. I don't gotta like it to see it. I'm just curious. And that's just the way it goes. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's a small world. You left a big comment here. So the fact that it's this long, let's go. He says, I think Tony is on the money with those voices. They're aliens and extraterrestrial beings wearing a cloak, a veil. Same as the boy in white and Victor Lunchbox, Katri, Candy Bar, Tabby, Childhood Dream. It has to be. You are correct in everything you said. You know what I mean? You're gonna see it. Trust me, it's a small world. This keep the faith alive. You'll see in the end that this is what it is. It's already done. It's already been set up. They can't get away from it now, and that's it. And that's just the way it goes. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, not the varicose veins. Smiley didn't have no varicose veins, but they had to get the girl with the other one with the varicose veins.
In fairness to Smiley, there was some friendly lighting going on down there. There was some good lighting. We don't know really what was going on. There's some shadows there with Smiley,
which is weird. I will say this is weird too about that whole situation with. He said his booty's too stinky. Jesus, Mickey B. I would say this. how come when Smiley was reborn, he did not come in the monster form? Every time we see the monsters and they're sleeping, it seems that the monster form is their real form, and then they transform into that other form. So how come Smiley did not come back in that monster form? Y'all probably never thought about this, right? That's why you're here with the Don.
Would it be because
and Phil,
yeah,
you don't think about this. He should have came back if it was away in that monster form.
In the caves,
back with the glamour. He had the glamour on him. Why'd he come back with the glamour?
Is it just for us, kind of, fan service? Like, oh my God.
I was gonna say that. Yeah, I think it's because that's the most recognizable thing. Even though you could do it either way, you could have him come back and then slowly take form of, be born in creature form, and then his face morphs into that. But it's the easiest way, just to throw the plastic blanket he throws off of him and just be Smiley under there. That was the easiest way to do it.
And I guess it would make sense if it would be an extra thing where, because technically they started as humans, right? So he's reborn as a human, but then in those caves he would just kind of like turn into a monster. That would have been nice. Maybe not enough money in the budget for that.
Not at the end of the season, probably. After the Dale in the Wall stuff. That cost a lot.
That's why these guys can't come on this channel, because we're gonna hit them with the real questions that they don't want to answer, and they're nervous. They're nervous. They want to answer the questions. I'm gonna ask them the real questions. Why did this happen? It made no sense to me. Please explain. And they don't want to come on here. I
think we'll leave more questions, don't you think, Tony and Phil? Like if they were all monsters, like in the cave as monsters, and then there's this new monster being born, we could be like, oh my gosh, is this how monsters are created? Is this the new monster? Who will this be? So they kind of took away that surprise, but at the same time they give us it's the Smile monster.
And I also wonder, are they reborn better and stronger? You could also do something like that where it seems like does this Smiley now have the ability to go out during the day? That could be a way to up the danger. Reborn Smiley is mutated a little bit more to be able to fight them a little bit easier.
If they do that would be interesting. Everybody would be like, no, I want to go next. Kill me.
Well, it explains the clothes that they're wearing, but I think they've all been killed. I think a lot of them have all been killed over the years, and I think they've all been reborn. And I think we're just seeing it now with the Smile monster. I think they just take the clothes that are available to them. That's why they have those things down in the caves. Now, listen, if I see Smile monster wearing that lingerie dress that was found inside goddamn suitcase, it's gonna be a problem. All right, it's gonna be a problem, man.
People will be running for different reasons.
And I'm gonna have to start talking this woke shit then, goddamn it, too, if you do that shit, man. That's going too far. All right, too far. All right, if you come back rocking that shit, all of a sudden he comes up in this motherfucker rocking this damn lingerie. I ain't gonna smile at the Smile monster. It's gonna be a problem, goddamn it. You're gonna make me say something to you, and I don't want to, right? I don't want that to do it to you, but I have no choice. I don't have no choice. So he should come back, I think, in whatever clothes he had gotten recently, anything that's been taken, right? So I don't think he should be in that wardrobe that they're in. I think that's the last time someone got killed in that wardrobe. I think his clothes should be a little bit more updated than theirs. I think that's the way it's going to happen with him, and that's the way we'll see. But that's where I think he should come in there. Now, listen, if he comes in some Kenny Highwaters, that's fine. That's fine. Let's kill Kenny and give the Smile monster his high waters. How about that? And have Kenny walking. Have the Smile monster.
We all know what Tony's agenda is here. He wants to proxy kill Kenny to open up someone's availability in town.
Kenny's got to go. Kenny has got to go.
Oh, he better get a good death when he goes. I mean, his family got a good death. I mean, they were some serious deaths. Like if Kenny gets killed with, again, just like an accident or pneumonia or something, that would not be fun.
Falls off a cliff or something bad happens to happen to Kenny.
Yeah, we gotta get Kenny the fucking bad. Who was that? Yeah, boy. Who was saying that band? Someone banned him?
Oh, I had the other night. I did like a karaoke after our stream, and drunk karaoke stream, and I watched a few too many videos, and I didn't get the band. I got my first like big warning where they were like, "We warned you many times. We're taking down this video. We're warning you," and I had to take the class and do all that sort of stuff. So
did they really get you for it?
Oh, they got. I was like watching. I was karaoke singing and watching live music. So no more drunk that people. AK was in the live chat. A couple of other people in Sonic was there. A few other people. But yeah, it was. They got me. They shut down the stream.
Gee, that's some bullshit.
Yeah,
that's some damn bullshit. That's not good.
I'm on parole right
now. You on parole right now?
No. I just got the warning. You know, if you get the first warning, they're like, "This is your first warning." You know, if you don't get another one, you're fine.
And it's because you had the stream monetized?
No, it's just because I was playing music.
So even if you don't have it monetized, they can bust.
Yeah, I didn't have anything monetized.
That makes no sense. Because if you're not monetizing it, then you're not claiming it. Then what is the problem?
No, I was just singing and talking over, showing music scenes from television shows I enjoy, and like talking over it and being like, "This is awesome," and then singing along and being drunk and ridiculous. It was,
doesn't make sense if you weren't monetizing. I don't understand why they would do that. You should be able to do anything you want when you're monetizing. We'll just tell you that someone else is going to claim it, or they're going to shut it down from everything else and everything, all that good stuff. All right. Let's go. So I think that what's going to happen to Boyd, because we only have like 15 minutes left, is that's going to be he's going to have to go move into that settlement. And I think that it's a good chance that he has people that follow him up there. And then we get the split of the town. We have Boyd's people go up there with him. You might have Ellis, Fatima, someone else go up with Boyd to that settlement. And then you have the other people that stay in town there. What do y'all think is going to happen with Boyd?
For him to go to that, I'm trying to imagine how it would play out, how it would progress the story. I think that's one of the things you said, like whatever happens, how is it gonna, Tony, I think you were mentioning that, not just in this case, but anything that happens, how is it adding to the story? So this village being a day, is it like a day you have to go there and then you have to sleep over? I'm just wondering how it's going to add to that. And maybe being there, that will add more answers, because he is the one who is going out there. He's the he goes on those journeys and discovers things, either good stuff like the talismans or bad stuff like the worms. So I wonder what he will bring from the village. And I do see him. That's a huge possibility that he will be out there. I don't think he will just stick around. Not that they will kick him out. Maybe they will. But I don't see him being fine with being in that town. And it would be too much. It would be too much for him, seeing where the new management would want to take the town to. And he would just go discover things and make the village his like base point to go discover for half a day here and whatnot. What about you, Phil?
I feel pretty. Yes, sorry. Sorry. People in the live chat. I don't like embarrassing myself in front of Carla too much, but I will. We'll definitely do karaoke night again. The karaoke wasn't the problem. The karaoke wasn't the problem. It was listening to the songs and reacting to them that ended up being the problem. They let me get away with the karaoke. The music's quiet enough. But I definitely. What people were saying earlier, I forget exactly who said it, but they were saying it more in a joke, like Boyd's just going to go out in the woods and live in the wood. But I do think he ends up in those cabins, and he does. He is the one that figures out what the hell's going on there. It seems to be each thing that gets figured out is finding talismans, finding whatever. It's through Boyd. So I think what's going to happen essentially is Boyd's going to get ousted, or he's not even going to get ousted. Like you said, I don't think he's going to get kicked out. I think he's just going to be like, Boyd, I think you should take a seat for a while and let us run town. You know, you've been through a lot. Your family's been through a lot. They're going to like sort of strongly suggest, and then Acosta will be like, yeah, fuck you. Get out of here, Boyd.
Forced retirement.
Yeah, they're going to force retirement kind of situation. And he's going to be like, screw you guys, I'm going home, and just like walk off. It'd be like, I'm going off, and walk out in the woods and go end up staying in the cabins and discover some hinky crap, and then come back with it right at the right time to save the day when the kids screw the pooch. So when Kenny and Acosta fuck up because they're not the ones. They're not the ones to be able to run this. They need Boyd on that wall. You know, like he is Jack Nicholson, and you know, like in Few Good Men. They need him on that wall. He has to be on that wall. You don't want to know the damn truth.
Yeah, 100%. And I think eventually they'll have to come through. Hopefully, what it goes to, and you know, Boyd leaves the town, and the town gets the shit kicked out of it. And then after that, they have no choice but to bring Boyd back or to go run to Boyd and everything else. I mean, again, I'm looking at this as 5 seasons, and if that's the case, then this next season has to be, you know, the penultimate season. It has to bring a lot more heat and a lot more death before they get up out of this place.
Yeah.
So the only way you could justify doing that is if Boyd's not there, Acosta takes over with Kenny, and they fuck up.
Yeah, the kids fuck up. Yeah.
And everyone winds up getting just about murked because of it. I mean, that's what would make it work. Again, as I said, the best way to me would be to get rid of all the talismans or the power of the talismans and let these people fend for themselves and see how it goes for them that way. You know what I mean? But I see most likely that this is going to end. Carlaway, you know how much I love you. You really do. And it's my goddamn birthday. And you really have the nerve. It must be that Aussie spirit to put that blasphemy in my chat. How dare you? How dare you do such a thing? How dare you do such a thing to me? That is a bad. To be on my side. Now we are going to go off the wall. Phil, you better watch yourself.
No, Tef Costa. Look at that.
Oh, yes, that's right. I'm sorry. Yes. You're exactly right.
It's your birthday, motherfucker. I'm not fucking with you today.
That's right. You're on my side, guys.
Yeah, it's your birthday. I'm not with you.
Listen, Kenny's got to die, and he's got to die in the most horrible way.
Antonio will get his cake.
I think that Kenny, it's been predicted that his family has died. You must take Kenny out to get Boyd to that point where he has to get everybody out. We need Kenny gone. We're going to start a hashtag kill Kenny.
You bastards.
All right. That's the new hashtag kill Kenny. I want you to go on the front page and I want you to put that down. Hashtag kill Kenny. Let's get this guy out of here. Get him out of here.
He needs to go on a long journey, right? He needs to discover new stuff somewhere else.
That's the way it's got to go. We're going to do it. Hashtag kill Kenny. We're starting this. We're getting this thing popping and everything else. We got to get rid of this stuff. Again, in the end, so this Saturday, hopefully we'll be doing the 100,000 subscriber live unboxing of the plaque and stream. LMR will be here. Phil Issues Guy will be here. Yes. We'll have some people from the past, the present, the future, chiming in, just coming in, stopping in, saying what up and everything else and all that good stuff. And we'll talk about the journey of Teflon TV. We will get drunk. I promise you that not only I will drink, I will get drunk that night. and I will let it all go. And everything else, you know what I mean? So definitely come in there and check it out. So if you see the 100,000 stream, that's what it's about. I know it may not say from, so make sure your notifications are on, and definitely come through. because it's going to be an entertaining stream. We'll get into some after dark stuff because that's what we do, and it'll just be full balls to the wall of stream, and it'll be a great time and everything else. We're going to. And Julian says, Steven says, Elmar, we are glad you're feeling better. 100%.
Thank you.
Glad you are feeling
much better. Thank you.
Message me. I want to join. I will definitely message you, Glue Glad. I want you to join in it. We'll have everybody up, and it's going to be an amazing time. But I'm swear it says 2:00, like 11 to 2. So if I get it by 2, then I'll put the stream up by 2:30. You know what I mean? But I can't. I don't want to do it until I get.
Yeah, you don't want to schedule it until you know for sure you're getting it.
Yeah, it says it's gonna be here, but you know, stuff, snow, anything could pop happen here in New York. So it's just the way it goes. So if we get it, and that's just what it is, and everything else, we will have that. Fill the Issues guy. Traders is coming on. Are we covering it this year?
I would love to try to cover Traders or figure something out. When do you know when the season starts?
Maybe tomorrow.
Oh, okay. Let me
see. It'll be Traders season 3. Do y'all want us to cover Traders?
If not, or like
the Traders.
I don't know if we should do every episode, but maybe like every 3 episodes do a stream or something like that and test it out, or like I'm not sure. Like,
it's not. It was announced, or it's tonight. No, tomorrow, the 9th. Yep,
the 9th. Okay,
the 9th. I will. As for Dexter, I'm sorry. I was actually going to do the Dexter video last week when it did it, and I have it all recorded and everything else. And I didn't, so I will be finishing the Dexter. I promise you.
Great
Friday
show.
When it drops, I will have that. Traders is on Peacock. It's a reality series. It's a reality. It's the best reality series out.
I'd love to fucking play the game. That's why
we got to do it, Phil. This so we can get on the game.
We could actually do we could obviously get on there or something, but we could also do a Traders situation too. Oh, Tony, I don't know if you, we got time. Well, he's got a few seconds. So KP, welcome to the show, buddy.
Good evening, everybody. I was just having a biscuit and just talking myself a little bit. How are you guys doing this evening? How are you guys doing?
Doing wonderful.
Doing great.
Tony, happy Sweet 16.
Thank you.
I hope it happens to you this year. Last semester you tried, but she was not trying to defile herself. But this year there's a body called Tanisha, and I think you're gonna get lucky with it. You're gonna get that Kenny luck.
Who is this person I'm supposed to be getting lucky with? What's her name? Tanisha? All right, I'll be on the lookout for Tanisha.
I have nothing in particular to say about this show. I think I can have said everything I had to say. I just want to give you guys a call to just say I'm listening. LMR, good night. You look lovely as always. Phil, you look yeah, okay. And but when are we starting watching Severance though? When are we starting watching this next series?
As soon as the season starts, we'll be on Severance. We'll be doing that guaranteed. So that's that. But we're gonna do the Traders tomorrow. It comes out tomorrow. Let's. Tomorrow? Yeah, it comes. Yeah, Traders. The Traders show comes out tomorrow.
Oh, okay. I'll check for that. All right, guys. You guys have a great night.
You too, KP. Peace.
I would be before we could go on that show and fucking win it, bro.
Dude, I'd love to play it. Like, even more than talking about it, I'd love to play that game. That'd be so much fun.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we would win. We'd kill it.
No doubt about it. I could win that fucking show. There's no doubt about it. There's no doubt. People like, I need a little KP in my life. You goddamn right, Glue Guns. You do. We all need a little KP.
And I don't know if you watch Survivor. There's a guy on this season that I hope he gets enough screen time to show how hilarious he is. This guy, Tony Vlachos. He won one of the seasons of Survivor. He is fucking hilarious TV, and I hope they give him the opportunity to be as hilarious as he actually is on Survivor. He did all sorts of crazy shit, and I think his personality is going to fit very well into that show. So
let's see if Boston Rob makes the cut.
I don't think he's playing this time. I think he'll probably play. Is he playing this year? I knew he played dealer.
You didn't see it. They showed the first like 7 minutes of the Traders this season.
He's playing this year?
So what happens is they show the people there, and they have this one chick, the black lady and the white lady from Big Brothers, and the white lady eliminated the black chick like right in that finale. So what they do is, they have all the traders in the background, and when they have them back there, they said, listen, whoever touches this book first, you can eliminate somebody from the show right now. But if you do that, then one person is going to be added from the show.
And they took Rob from Deal or No Deal Island. He's in there.
Boston Rob. So
Rob.
They take somebody out. They take someone out. Rob is in the game.
Rob is going to vote out Tony the first chance he gets.
And the thing is, this is like, you don't just show Boston Rob not to have him in the show. No. Like, he has to get in there.
He has to. And spoiler alert for the all winners season of Survivor. There's 2 Survivor people that have won twice. Sandra and Tony Vlachos. He won Survivor twice, and he won the all winners season. So Rob is going to target him quick. All the survivors are going to try to get Tony out, which is a shame. But anyway, sorry for the reality show talk, everybody.
Yeah, he was just in a Deal or No Deal Island.
Yeah, Deal or No Deal Island. He was one
won. He should have won that.
He got screwed at the end a little bit. They all turned on
because he looked at the person you're not supposed to look, and he got the 5-minute delay.
Yeah, and that little dude sort of betrayed him towards the end too. He got in his head.
He still would have won it. He would have won it. It was on the last challenge. He would have won it if he didn't look at it and get that 5-minute delay, because he only lost to her by like 5-6 seconds with the 5-minute delay. So he would have blew it away, and he would have won by like 4 minutes. It would have been all over.
That show started tonight too, or I believe the new season of that started tonight. And
all right, so we'll talk about it. We'll do some things for that.
I think we should probably just do like a weekly show on Sunday where we talk about a few shows or something like that, and then we can cut it up and release it. We'll talk about that stuff off air.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. All right, people. If you liked it, thank you, Elamar. Thank you, Phil. Thank you, chat. Thank you, everyone, for rocking with us and everything. As we go out the old school way. Hey, by the way, do this, please. Thumbs up this, spread this across the room, and of course, subscribe. And until next time, you know who it is. Peace and stay sexy.